In the year 1940, 4 years before the international discovery of the true heinous nature of Nazi concentration camps and some of the worst human rights violations in history, Charlie Chaplain created his Hollywood classic, The Great Dictator. In the film, he takes on both the protagonist role of a persecuted Jewish barber and the antagonist role of a great dictator. Although the film addresses the human rights violations that ensue from national anti-Semitism and the use of concentration camps to violate basic human rights, the entire film brands itself as a political satire.
Where are we going?
You're invading Austerlitz.
By saturating such an infamous dictator who is responsible for countless egregious human rights violations, with such slapstick comedy, Chaplin detracts from the heinous nature of the crimes committed by Hitler and his regime.
You have no right to do this. That's all right. Just charge it to my account.
In 1964, nearly 2 decades after the discovery of Nazi concentration camps, Chaplin published an autobiography in which he professed that he could not have possibly made such a comedic political satire if he had known the true reality behind the horrors of the concentration camps. With chilling parallels to Chaplin's classic, Columbia Pictures released a 2014 movie by the name of The Interview.
Yes. That you won't stop talking about?
Again taking on the genre of a political satire comedy, The Interview follows 2 American tourists on their journey through North Korea on a covert CIA mission to assassinate Kim Jong-un. In the film, Kim is humanized in a way that portrays him as misunderstood.
What am I to do when my father's dying wish was for me to carry his torch?
One of my favorite things to do is just strolling up and down the aisles to see the beautiful fruits of my country's land.
However, as time goes on, the characters discover the facade of North Korea that Kim has presented them with, and the reality behind the cult of personality. It has been well documented that many tourists visiting North Korea are given a facade of propaganda and well-being. Like The Great Dictator, The Interview addresses certain aspects of an oppressive regime that are true to reality. In reality, North Korea has established itself as an authoritarian state with a strict dynastic leadership that is responsible for one of the most oppressive regimes to date. The United Nations has been documenting the extermination, murder, enslavement, torture, imprisonment, rape, forced abortion, and other sexual violence against North Koreans, and concludes that the gravity, scale, and nature of these violations reveal a state that does not have any parallel in the contemporary world. The regime has isolated the country in order to maintain stability of power and denies freedom of movement and information through the use of militaristic force. Kim's regime uses threats of detention, forced labor, and public executions to ensure obedience, as all media publications are state-controlled propaganda. There is no basis for labor rights, and forced labor is a common phenomenon both inside and outside labor camps. The North Korean labor camps have reached a level of global notoriety for its parallels in harshness to that of the Nazi regime. These camps are characterized by systematic abuses and often deadly conditions, including meager rations that lead to near starvation, virtually no medical care, lack of proper housing and clothes, regular mistreatment including sexual assault and torture by guards, and executions. The severity of human rights abuses under the North Korean regime resonates far from the satirical comedy put forth by The Interview. Although its parallels to The Great Dictator run along the same slippery slope of comedy, it must be noted that the former Chaplin film was made under a false pretense and lack of adequate information on the severity of human rights abuses under the Nazi regime. The latter Columbia production refuses to address the countless known realities of North Korea's ongoing list of human rights violations. In countering these known realities with overtly comedic satire, The Interview delegitimizes the severity of these crimes against humanity and creates a pop culture icon out of a murderous and ruthless dictator.